The story of a people is told best by those who live it out daily. And when the history of that community is informative, inspirational, and insightful, it should then be shared with the world. The Clio Exchange does that.
And throughout the years, I've seen the change, the shift, in that. So I think that we, the Supremes, helped. I'm kind of varying from that point,
No,
but only to say that it was at a time when women were not,
Sure.
empowered with positions and
Right.
things.
And that had nothing to do with color.
No,
You
just
broke
women.
down a lot
I'm
of
talking women,
barriers.
right? And I remember hearing Whoopi Goldberg, she and I speak a lot, and I heard Oprah Winfrey, Oprah Winfrey, I always say that, say that, seeing the Supremes on television helped them to get the idea that, wow, I can do that. That hope, that inspiration.
That's right.
Not to mention opening the doors at various nightclubs and things like that, because groups weren't making, rock and roll groups weren't making appearances at places like the Copacabana,
That's
you
right.
know.
That's right. That's right.
Those are just a few of the small, I think, accomplishments we made. We had our first television special of any pop group
Watched them
on
all.
NBC,
Right,
with the
right.
Temptations. That was a first.
That's
So there were many of those type of things that I think we did that I feel that people just, not people have forgotten them, but the industry doesn't put as much warrant on that kind of accomplishment.
Yeah.
I mean, history for black people to make is hard enough.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so that when you make it, then people forget it.
Yeah. Well, see, that's
It's like, wow, I mean, we did all those great things and people just forgot it.
Yeah.
Was it nothing?
Yeah, right.
That's why I keep on trying to work.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Keep trying to top myself
Yeah.
because, it's like it's never enough to prove
Right.
that we as a race, that we as people are so, I think we've contributed so much to America. And I look at some of our groups, the Drifters and some of the older members who are still here have to fight for some of their jobs because they're relegated to being oldies, and I'm relegated to becoming an oldie as opposed to being an icon like, say, Elvis Presley, who's still walking around.
Right.
And Marvin Gaye is dead.
Yeah.
There's
yeah.
a little sort of something in
Yeah.
there.
No, there is certainly not enough fairness in the industry.
Right. But who says to be fair? All is fair in love and war. But that's why I think we have to work harder.
No, I understand, and that's also why we've created a project like the Clio
That's
Exchange
why, yes.
to bring forward that kind of recognition and
Yes.
appreciation.
That's why I want to say
Because
thank
you
you for
are,
that. Yes.
You are an icon.
Well, I am in my mind.
And mine too, sweetheart. No, seriously, you are. I mean, when you think about the level of sophistication that the Supremes brought to the entertainment industry, you can cross all color barriers, all nationalities, and you won't find a better combination.
Yes.
I mean, you guys brought a level of sophistication that was just tremendous.
I think so.
And it wasn't just a pretty face. You were really working hard to do what you did. I mean,
Yeah.
I read some of the accounts about the preparation that you guys put into each one of your shows. I mean, the people you had at Motown working with you, the hand movements.
Yes.
I mean, you introduced that.
Motown was really wonderful in that they initiated a program called Artist Development that actually taught all of us how to be poised, And I know that traveling around with other groups all over the world, and we've worked with probably everybody, you could always pick out a Motown group.
Yeah.
For that, as you say, that sophistication, that choreographed moves. I saw
like
a
a
picture.
machine.
It's like a machine. I saw a picture of the Supremes and the Temptations, and every hand. If a hand was here, all three or all five were there. If it was here, it was in the same, same way.
That's right.
But there were many hours spent doing that, and if you look at Hollywood, they did the same thing. They taught their stars, but you could tell that. I mean, you could tell that everything was just so polished, so wonderful, and we had the same type of system, and it worked.
What's the next challenge for you?
Well, I'm doing a jazz show. I shouldn't say jazz. It's not really jazz. It's an up-close show with Mary Wilson where I do standards, blues, some jazz, but it's a sort of a different genre of music, not for me, certainly because I grew up in Detroit with jazz and that's what I sing personally, but I've never done it, as a show. So I'm putting the show together, and maybe I come to DC. Who knows?
That's right. Yeah, or I think Baker's Keyboard Lounge is still there.
In Detroit, is it still there? You know a lot about Detroit. How long did you live in Detroit?
I lived there about 7, 8 years, something like
okay.
that. So long enough to know Detroit.
Yeah, you do.
Well, Mary, this has been just a wonderful visit with you.
Thank you.
And I've certainly missed seeing you and spending time, but you've given us an opportunity to get to know you a little differently.
Thank you.
And I'm sure the viewing audience has enjoyed it.
Thank you.
But we didn't get to know nearly enough about you. So can I get a commitment for you to come back?
It's always ongoing, you know, as long as I'm breathing.
Yeah, it's still evolving.
It's still evolving, right?
But you didn't answer that question. Can I
sure,
get
why
you
not?
to come back? Yeah.
Why not?
All right. Well, it would be
As
an honor.
long as people want me, I'm there.
Yeah,
I don't have a problem.
Well, we're so proud and delighted of all the wonderful things that you've done for us as a people.
Thank you.
And I think for what you and the others have done for this country. You're a true gem of America.
Oh, thank you.
But you're a precious jewel for the rest of America. We just love you and respect you a great deal.
And I'll take that back to the Motown folks, or Holland, Doja Holland and all, you know, because it couldn't have been done without them.
God bless you.
Thank you.